Greetings, this is Brother Nia from the NABSS TV. So I'm interviewing Brother Andrew Mohammed from the Westside Young Leaders Academy. And we're going to talk about the history of the Westside Young Leaders Academy, the current situation, and the future outlook for this supplementary school. So greetings, Brother Andrew. How you doing?
Greetings, my king. Very good, Brother Nia.
And how you all coping during lockdown?
Yes. In fact, in many aspects, we're thriving, to be honest with you. It's kind of crazy, brother. We use this time, we call it spiritual intervention. Yeah. And we believe that we have now, we learned more about our young people during this lockdown than what we had when we physically met up with them on a weekly basis. So we're absolutely, we're loving the opportunity of learning different sides and aspects of it. Yes, so my name is Andrew Mohammed, as Brother Nia. Thank Brother Nia for this opportunity. I'm one of the directors of the Westside Young Leaders Academy. We've been in operation for approximately 8 years now. We started about 2012 in February. And I let some of the young people.
You're doing Westside Young Leaders Academy. This is because we learn whilst having fun. Some prime examples of this are icebreakers held by Brother Andrew, aka the investigator. We were also taught drill and discipline by Brother Mark and Brother Darren. The Boys Academy went on a trip and stayed in the hotel for a couple of days. This taught us to come out of our comfort zone and do stuff that we weren't afford of doing before. We were taught life skills that had to be financially stable and how to live by ourselves. Basically all the stuff that you're not taught in school. We were also taught about our history and how we were more than just slaves. We were brave, Rosa Parks, activists, Marcus Garvey, spokesman, Malcolm X, and multi-geniuses, Imara. These are just some of the black role models that we look up to in WYLA. The Boys Academy also went out into the community and served the homeless. Eagle have a lovely day. As well as supporting the elderly and cleaning the centre. Hey Mr. Johnson, see you next week for that game of Uno. WYLA has recently opened their Girls Academy, which is really amazing and powerful. But the boys are still better at drill. Had to clear that. But when you attend WYLA, be prepared to do push-ups if you're late, so don't be. WYLA is planning a trip to Ghana once this whole pandemic is over, so get your place and don't be late. We're making leaders. We need you.
Right. So that's one of our students, Brother Caden, explaining why young people should join us. We have several academies across London, in East London. Obviously, we have one in South London, and we are the West London. And we also have one that's situated out in Milton Keynes. So we are creating a conglomerate of academies, and it all started off in America.
When young people enter the Young Leaders Academy, they soon realize that they're in a very special and unique place. The Young Leaders Academy is such a positive environment, and we start very early on with them, helping them to realize that there are no obstacles. They can be anything they want to be. They can do anything they want to do in life. One main indicator that we have to show that the Young Leaders Academy is working is the test scores. We recognize the fact that many of our students come to us far behind the national expectation as it relates to the No Child Left Behind requirements. And as we track the test scores of young people, we notice that not only do the students who stay enrolled with us outperform the national expectation, but the general population also have reached and are moving toward exceeding the national expectation as well.
The Young Leaders Academy stands out from the rest of the schools. Any school that I've ever sent my children to, they have so much to offer. They really give the children something to look forward to on a day-to-day basis. You can't ask for a better school. It's like home away from home, and I like that.
I'm extremely impressed with the staff here at the Young Leaders Academy, wherein the majority of the teachers here have master's degrees, which is very impressive. It is the best public education that is second to none. It definitely compares to any well-established, highly tuitioned private school in terms of the uniform, the discipline, the leadership skills, as well as the academics. We really take the time.
So basically, that is the root of the Young Leaders Academy that we, myself and Mr. Ray Lewis, went out to America, and we looked at the foundation of the Young Leaders Academy in America, but also we're not Americans. So we adapted it to the UK culture and to the UK environment. So that's how it started. And
it was founded by Ray Lewis, a man of vision and a man of presence. Basically, Ray decided that he, as he would say, wanted to pitch his tent at the top and not at the bottom, and he wanted to work with young black males and devised the Eastside program on the back of what he had seen from an academy based in America.
I worked for some years as a prison governor, where my job was to look after young men of all races and creeds who had got themselves into trouble and who had reached what we call the terminus of the criminal justice system. My job was to make sure that they remained incarcerated and to detain their liberty, as well as try and work in ways to turn them around and to make sure that these people would come out and never come back in. I found that, generally speaking, that my efforts and my energies were put into that, and they weren't really getting the kind of return I felt we should. So I decided, after some reflection, that I would set up my first aid tent at the top of the cliff and not the bottom, that we'd work on prevention and not cure. Having spoken to a number of parents as well as youth work practitioners, I discovered that if one intervened in the right way, if one intervenes firmly and decisively and in a way that is holistic, we could actually find a way of turning lives around rather than waiting until they got into trouble at a serious level and doing something about it then.
The aim was that we wanted to try and catch the youth before they got into serious situations, and more of a preventative approach as opposed to a curing approach. So we set up the Westside Young Leaders Academy.
So the Westside Young Leadership Academy was established around 3 years ago, and the reason why we set it up was to provide support to young boys, not only from Brent but also from anywhere in London, who are maybe facing challenges in their lives or maybe need additional support to help them to get to the next level. All right, so that's our fellow director, David Akuru, who explained why we actually set it up. We believe that in West London there was a need, and that there was a situation where young black boys were failing in the academic system, as well as getting involved in the street situation. So as well as our philosophy in working at the Young Leaders Academy, especially in the Westside Young Leaders Academy, we build strong relationships, not just with the boys, but also with their parents. And so a part of our contract is that they don't see us as a babysitting service. Yeah. They are absolutely involved, and all serious scholars and all serious inquiries, all serious reports have stated that any parent that is involved in their children's education, that child's chances of success academically, spiritually, and psychologically is much more further advanced than those who their parents are literally washing their hands off the system. So a part of what we have what's called the Parents University. So every half term, parents pack in, and it's compulsory. We really strongly advise that all parents need to be there, and we have invited guest speakers. We have professional practitioners, and obviously we allow the parents to teach each other about their good practices of what worked or what may not work. It's a very beautiful day for our young boys and girls, but parents, we need you. That's what I'm going to say to you, man. We need you. Our young boys are great leaders, they've got great potential, and it's about producing an environment
they can express this talent, because there is an alternative to the street, and it's based on their knowing who they are, knowing financial literacy, and building a future for themselves.
So we work very closely with our parents on all of our programs, and this goes across the board. Our leadership is very kinesthetic.
And to really acquaint the young black boys with people who are out there right now being successful, to show them that it can be done.
So we personally believe, now what is our curriculum? Our curriculum is that we are not an academic school in the sense of sit down, get your maths book out, get your science book out. It's about a form of African teaching, which is very holistic and kinesthetic. So it's about making sure that they're using their academic skills, but they're combining it with their social skills and their financial literacy skills. So our leadership program is based on 4 main components. One is that we teach very strongly about history, culture, and identity. We believe, as the Honourable Marcus Messiah Garvey stated, that a tree, a people with no history of their roots is like a tree, like a people with no history, no knowledge of their history is like a tree with no roots. They both die. So the foundation of our academy is that a very clear, positive self-identity. Our second branch is finance and business, because we are living in the world of finance and business, and our schools, we personally believe that our schools do not prepare our boys to go into a world where they're going to literally have to know how to cope for themselves. And so financial literacy is a foundation of what we do.
Excellent.
And also we teach them leadership and social skills, how to shake someone's hand, for example, how to introduce yourself, how to write a letter, how to literally do a tie-up, how to present yourself, how to do social presentations and public speaking. So leadership and social skills are fundamentally important on that. And then we teach them about creativity and self-expression, that they are a people, a young set of young men who must learn how to advocate for themselves and literally explain themselves and do not reduce themselves just to the fist. One of our foundations, though, is that we teach our young boys that to be a leader is to be a servant in your community. So we have various programs that are based on Leaders Serve. It's called Leaders Serve, which is a community outreach program whereby we take the boys into the community and make them serve the community. So here's an example.
And we're here today at the Nubian Life Centre in West London, and the Nubian Life Centre is a centre that supports African and Caribbean elders. And our job today is to encourage the young people who are at Westside, the young boys in particular, to give back to the community. This is one of our programs, and this program is called Leaders Serve. So it's about young people and young boys in particular realising that their job as leaders is to serve their community, and that's exactly what we're doing today. And the boys are working in different groups on different tasks. So behind me there are a group of boys who are helping to put furniture together. Outside in the garden we have groups of young people who are planting vegetables and planting flowers so that when they bloom it will look really, really nice for the young people, for the elderly I should say. And over here we have another team of young people who are writing positive messages on discs, which will be hung outside in the garden, so every time the elderly go out there they will see really beautiful messages from young people. So yeah, today is about our young people giving back, And we need to do more of this. Our young people need to recognise that they're part of a community, and it's their duty to serve their community, and in particular our elders, because if it wasn't for our elders, none of us would be here. It's on their shoulders who we stand, and our young people, our boys in particular, have to recognise that we owe them a debt of service, and that's what we're doing today. We're giving back to our elders, we're giving back to the community, we're encouraging young people to recognise that they have a role to play in looking after our elders and also in the betterment of our community. So today's going to be a fantastic day, and I'm hoping that when other young people see this, they will recognise that they have a greater role to play in their community.
Well, today we helped build different facilities and made messages for the oldest people of England, well, not particularly England, but our community. And we built, for instance, a plant rack so they can look at the wonderful plants and smell them. We've also cleaned the area so it's nice and new for them when they come in, so they have a different experience of just every single day the same. So now it's a little much nicer for them.
Yeah, today we came to Nubian Life. I found it very inspirational because we're helping the elders as they've helped us before in the past. Yeah, I found that it was very helpful, and I found that they'll be very grateful to see us here and experiencing what they've been through. Yeah, so I wrote quotes for them to put up on the wall so they can go back to it when they're down or when they're feeling it. And yeah, I think it was a very good time for us to spend with the elderly.
So that is our community outreach program, which all boys, again, is compulsory. You can't choose whether you want to do the community outreach. It's a part of our program. And what's been beautiful, as I nearly finished now, is that, as you've seen, for the first 8 years, we focused purely 100% on young black boys. But we had always, from day one in our progress reports, stated that we can't leave the girls out, that the girls are a fundamental element of our community, because without strong black men being produced, what are they going to be for our young ladies to literally work arm in arm with and go into the future with? And so we're very proud that in 2020, January the 1st, we opened our Girls Academy.
I choose this moment, this hour, this day to focus on the task ahead. I am thankful for all my gifts and all opportunities. I acknowledge the depth of my soul and the endless possibilities through belief. I am light in the dark. I am vision. I am hope. I am prepared. I am peace. I know what I want, and I will go for it. I am beautiful. I am caring. I am great. I am a queen.
We've done over the last few weeks has really enabled that transformation in our young queens.
We all have gifts in us, so please don't see this as a chore. This is an investment to all your futures. You are all powerful queens.
So it's surprising, Brother Neo. It's not surprising, because that's why we have to give the boys an 8-year start, because the girls, in a matter of months, in a matter of weeks, I should say, are literally challenging the boys already. And that's after working with the boys for eight years.
The girls have been waiting since you first opened. They've been waiting.
And so in my last, and I'm near enough finished now, Nia, but I'll give the last words to one of our queens, one of our head girls, who done a personal message for other young girls about the academy.
Hi, my name is Destiny. I go to Westside Young Leaders Academy every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Yes, 10 o'clock. WYLA is a supplementary school for young people of African descent. It's a place where you can learn things they don't teach you at school, like your history, identity, confidence building, debating skills, presentation skills, and public speaking. I know what you're thinking. A school on Saturday. Schools teach you what to think, WYLA teaches you how to think. They offer opportunities like scholarships, apprenticeships, trips, residentials, family fun days like Kwanzaa, roller skating, end of term celebrations, and more. They're also heavily involved with parents, so supporting them with amazing advice at our parent universities. I like WYLA because it gives me something to look forward to every week. Every morning we start with GAS, gratitude, affirmation and silence. Allows us to start our day better. And it doesn't stop there. It's lockdown. Where do we go from here? Well, every Wednesday we meet in a Zoom session with our directors from the comfort of our yards. And every Saturday we get a guest appearance on our Instagram live feed from famous faces like Sean Wallace, Miss Banks, Akala and many more. And to keep us occupied, we get set challenges every week where we can earn prizes and learn skills for us to use in after quarantine and just life. Like me, I don't have to edit videos like this one. Calm. Anyways, WYLA is so much more than just going to a school on Saturday. It's about the community, the opportunities, the sisterhood. All the girls can agree we found friendship in the first week that can last a lifetime. So girls and parents, join your community, your people, your family, but most importantly, join our journey to find the next Westside Young Leaders.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's basically it. And just one point you mentioned in regards to one of the questions, brother, is that yes, we have moved a lot of our classes online. So we do a weekly class online for all of our young leaders.
That's due to lockdown, yeah?
Due to the lockdown. But this will probably be continued as well. That's why we personally call the lockdown period spiritual intervention. It's allowed us and forced us to use our creativity much more than what we was doing before. We also give the young people weekly challenges. We've had bake-offs. We've had who can do their best, the best bed making for 7 days, and all kind of it's just a holistic approach. We've done poetry competitions, and it's allowed us to get to know our young people much more than just meeting them on a Saturday morning for 3 hours. And we also do an Instagram live, as Sister just mentioned in the video, whereby we have celebrities and guest speakers, and to talk not just to our young children, but to the parents and to the wider community. So yes, in a nutshell, we personally believe we're moving down the right road and increasing the services that we're trying to offer to our young people.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear there's another branch in Milton Keynes. I've had 3 parents inquire about Saturday schools in Milton Keynes. I didn't know there was one in Milton. So please, let's get these on the directory.
Absolutely.
Information. Like I say, you know, I go around, I promote all black supplementary schools around the country, and there's been some old school negative thoughts about what happens in a Saturday school, and this presentation will just bust that to pieces, because you know, they say things, oh, why should we carry on doing the mainstream education at weekends? And I'm trying to explain to them that it's not just mainstream. We're dealing with life skills. We're doing things way ahead of mainstream. And actually, mainstream schools are actually learning from what supplementary schools have been doing for the last 20 years. They're actually learning from us.
Absolutely.
So yeah, thank you very much for this presentation. It's answered all the questions I had. So thank you very much, Brother Andrew.
We thank you, King.
And any thoughts about going outside London? Or you started Milton Keynes? You started Milton Keynes. When you go any further?
We started Milton Keynes, and yes, we after laying the foundation, because we don't want to build our castle on quicksand. So after learning our mistakes, learning from our mistakes, and learning from our strengths, 100%. We are looking to expand out of London. We've already had a few inquiries from various communities, such as in Leeds, in Manchester, and in Birmingham, for us to help them set up academies up there. And we're in discussions with them, but the foundation has to be strong first. And we personally believe we are building that strong foundation, whereby I personally then, or any of the directors, won't physically have to be there on a Saturday whilst we go and help other people hands on decks, building their communities across the UK. So that is the midterm to long term goal.
Yeah, I mean, during this period of 2020 demonstrations during March and May and June, I've had an influx of people looking to set up Saturday schools, and they've come from Liverpool, Manchester, and Birmingham, Bristol, Brighton, all over. If they can set up a Young Leaders Academy in those areas, that would be absolutely fantastic. That'll every box.
We're there.
But they need to have the foundations in their particular locations. They can't expect you to be running down and doing everything. So
absolutely.
I've always said to them, I've always put the people in touch with each other. So if I get 3 people from Manchester, I'll put them all in touch with each other,
connect them,
link up, and do something in your area. But
absolutely.
We will provide as much help as possible. So,
absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time, Brother Andrew. You're very.
Brother, we'd like to say, Brother Nia, as on behalf of the Westside Young Leaders Academy, we bow to you, brother, because the organisation you put together is not only crucial, but sad to say, it's literally the only one in the UK. I could say I'm not aware of any organisation such as yourselves, okay? Because that it's going to become more and more crucial. And I want to say publicly as well that Brother Nia and his organisation has helped sponsored several young people financially, not just with words and with passion, but has sponsored several young people who have gone through financial difficulties, single parenting and what have you, okay? And the organisation has literally sponsored them to be at our academy free of charge, because he's obviously paying for that and allows us to get the work done. So once again, brother, we thank you and we salute you for your hard work.
You're welcome. And that's the next, that's where NABSS is going right now. We're looking for individuals to sponsor individual places, and we're looking for black businesses to start sponsoring individuals.
It helps.
Because it has to start coming from ourselves. We can't keep on relying on the government to be funding our organizations. We love their money from the government, but we can't rely on it because they can pull it, which has happened. So that's the way NABSS is going. And like I said, we'll embrace the time, embrace people coming forward, and we'll move forward together as one people. And I recognize a lot of people from the video. I recognize a lot of people from your presentation.
Exactly.
Parents. Thank you very much. We've been
thank you, King. One love.
Bless.
Thank you.